Alright, so today we're going to be talking about a wonder weapon. Now this weapon is specific for the well-regulated militia. Should we ever hit a situation where we're taking on a larger force, say there's an occupying force in this country or something like that, this is one of the little pieces of knowledge, the little tools in the toolbox that we need to be able to take out and be able to use. Now we've covered other things that, in my opinion, are very important, like you need to have a 3D printer, you need to have drone defense ammunition, AR-15, etc., etc., etc. But how do you go after a bigger military structure as a civilian? And that's what we're going to be basically focusing on today. Now, before we get into this, don't forget to shop at OnlyTacticalFans at Shopify.com. That's the merchandise store that supports all of this, permanently demonetized, great merchandise. I did get a bunch of more stuff back in. I got the Snake Staff tourniquets back in. Now, they were getting criticism because these are only on Gen 2, and the cats are on Gen 7. I played with this quite a bit. I'm not a medical professional, but I don't see anything that I would change. So, in my opinion, these are good to go. I think they're great. I did a video on those if you're interested in it. I also got the Rambo Boom blue glow sticks in.
It's a blue light. What does it do? Turns blue.
Amazing. Then the mil-spec green ones. But let's get into the video because that's what you guys are probably all curious about. And we will be talking today about the graphite bomb. Sounds a little ominous, right? Graphite bomb? What the hell is a graphite bomb? Yeah, I haven't heard of this thing either. And it's actually existed for a very long time. We'll get into the history a little bit later, but what does it do? This is essentially a lights-off switch. So you can take a military base and you hit it with a graphite bomb and you kill all of its power. So anything that's not on a battery or some sort of generator backup is no longer going to work. What is a graphite bomb? It is, I'm having troubles. I found some photos on this other channel right here. I'll roll them in. But from what I'm understanding, it's like almost like a carbon fiber, like a graphite weave, and it's like a giant graphite net. No explosive, it just gets deployed, and currently it's being deployed by drones. So it turns off of a grid. What it does is the carbon fiber filament lands on either transformers or power structures or overhead lines. Now, I'm not an electrician, so I could be completely wrong about this detail right here. I do know it works, but I could be completely wrong about this detail and how exactly it works. So we know it works, I just don't know for sure how it works. But essentially what happens is the graphite lines float down, they hit on the power line, electricity shoots across it, and it evaporates the graphite, but it creates an ionized trail, kind of like what a welder uses to conduct electricity. And then it creates a pathway for the power to arc over, and it arcs over the power line, blowing breakers. Or if you drop it on a transformer, melting down a transformer or something like that. So it shuts off the power. And it's pretty freaking awesome. You can target transformers, overhead lines, any sort of exposed power line you can target with these bad boys. Now, here's the crazy part. This isn't new. Apparently, we used these in 1991 in the Gulf War, creating massive blackouts. We used them in 1999. NATO blacked out 70% of the target they were going after. 70%. It was delivered by missiles and bombers. Now, this is where it becomes important because do you care about a nuclear weapon? No, neither do I. I can't use it. Do I care about a cruise missile? No. And neither do you, because you can't use it. We just don't have the funding for it. This particular weapon was domesticated by the use of drones. So instead of your $100 million stealth bomber or a $100 million Tomahawk missile deploying this, we can have $100 drones, and they can come in on a swarm and hit multiple targets at once, completely shutting off power. Now here's the beauty of this particular weapon. It's easy cleanup. What they do is they go in there with brooms, water, compressed air, they blow all the graphite fibers away from the lines, and then they turn the switch back on. Again, I'm not an electrician, but I've seen them pull the switches on power lines. So on the power line, it's got like this arm that comes down, and when it gets overheated, the arm drops somehow. Again, not an electrician. So this graphite bomb would come in, boof, drop graphite on it, the lines would arc out, boof, and blow the breakers. So all you have to do is clean this shit off and turn the breakers back on. That's amazing. Why is that important? We'll actually, you know what, we're going to save that. Russia's claiming Ukraine's is using this right now. And they're saying that, hey, they're going after our electricity infrastructure, which kind of lines up with what they've been doing, because that's how you win a war. You reduce their ability to keep fighting and stuff like that. And this is one of those accumulative things. So like, you drop it once, you know what, you pop the breakers, relatively not damaged. You drop it again, well, now you got a hot spot again, the breakers are getting weak. Or when you put it on transformers, you can take transformers out, you can step up the level of how much damage you're actually going to do. Even just dropping it on lines, like taking everything else off the table, now they got to send a repair crew out there. They got to start trying to figure out ways to prevent against this. And how do you prevent against that? How do you stop, like, all right, so if you send in a Scud missile to blow up a power plant, you can have, what do they call them, sea whizzes or whatever. They shoot the missiles down, you can put up defenses, you have a bunch of ninjas come in to set C4 and blow the power plant up. Well, you can have ground forces to defend against it. How do you defend against little, they describe it as spider webs, falling from the sky, landing on power lines? There's really nothing you can do. You gotta let them blow the breakers and you gotta clean that shit off. That's your best defense, is having repair crews that are fast. So you can make them dedicate assets to different areas. So boom, blow out that power. Well, now they gotta send people over there. Oh, now tomorrow we blow out this power. Maybe we blow out all three of these places at once. You spread them thin, you wear them down, you win in the battle of attrition. Now this is different than an EMP. An EMP, obviously, that's going to indiscriminately fry all electronics. Your electronics, his electronics, your electronics, their electronics, all of them just gone. With this, you can target it specifically against a single target. Plus, with an EMP, you got extreme damage. We're talking about fried electronics. This, all it is a light cleanup, and then you're good to go again. So, this isn't train denial, like landmines or something like that, where you're making it so nobody can use the area, or you crater out a power plant, or you take out a water system. This is something where you can go in, you can disable something, and then you can take it back easily. So, an example, this is a hypothetical situation. We have some sort of occupying force in America. They have a military base. We want that military base because they have tanks and jets and stuff like that. We want to take those. We don't want to destroy the base. We want that area. So how do we do that? Well, we track back to the nearest exposed power line. Maybe that's a transformer, because maybe they go underground. I don't know. But at some point, there's going to be a power line. You have all your crews set up. You have your M8250 calibers already targeting their generators. Boom, the drones come in. Pow, pop the power lines. 50 cals go off. Boom, take out their generators. Complete blackout. So now they're on our level. All their great technology is pretty much gone. Now it's down to skull smashing time. And we have the advantage because we know it's coming. They don't. So then we go in there. We eliminate all, what would you call that? Soft targets. Get those out of there. And then we go, take some brooms, some compressed air, turn the power back on, and now that's our base. We've taken an area and we get to keep it. That's where this is awesome. Because yeah, setting off an IED, blowing up a power station, that, well, now that we got the area, well, now we have to figure out how to repair this power station. We don't want to destroy the power station. We just want to shut the switch off. We want to kill their electricity so we can take the area, and then we want to be able to turn it back on so now we can defend the area. So I would call it a giant force multiplier. Strategic advantage, obviously, like I said, quick to repair. Drones are cheap. You can send it in, you can take something out, and you can turn it right back on. So immediately you can turn a enemy target into a resource. That's where these keep in. Now they do have downsides. So it works best in dry weather. Rain can wash the filament away. Not ideal. You got to find exposed power lines. So if they have their power cables buried in, you got to track all the way back to the next place it's exposed. Maybe it's the transformer station outside the power plant. Maybe it's a transformer station here or there. You got to have a rough understanding of how the power grid works in order to use these effectively and find the most vulnerable point that's closest to that area. The farther you have to wide it back, the bigger area it affects. So that is a disadvantage to that. Where like a cruise missile, I can just go in and boom, boom, take out a specific target. No, I have to go back like, okay, here's the exposed place. This place, runs this grid. So if I take out this place and my buddy takes out that place, we can shut this grid down. You have to have an understanding of the infrastructure and how all that works. It's a soft warfare. So we're not destroying anything. There is small long-term damage, but one, it's not really to be lethal. It's not against soft targets. And two, it's easy to repair it. Turn it right back on. So that's what makes this awesome. And like I said, the drones domesticated it. So now we've taken a massive strategic weapon and we've domesticated it and we made it so the average militia could use it. And I think that's why this doesn't really get reported on too, because this is a massive strategic weapon. And I don't think the government actually wants the normal people to know about it, because if we ever did get into a blow trading session, this would be one of the weapons that could multiply forces. They can take things out. They can give you a huge strategic advantage. They used to have a monopoly on it because it used to have $1 million delivery systems. Now you can do it with a $100 delivery system. No explosives required. You can make this all from stuff that's just out on the market commonly today. It's a big deal. So definitely spread this information around. Everybody needs to know about this because of the Second Amendment. It's our responsibility to understand these types of things. Yes, tactics we learn today may be obsolete tomorrow, but still, it's just another tool in the toolbox. Just to understand it. It's not that we need to build these things or anything like that. We just need to understand how they work. Should we get put into a position where they need to be used, well, we can use them. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Ba-bam! Don't forget to shop at onlytacticfans@shopify.com. That's what pays for all of this. Definitely check out the merchandise there. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of new stuff in. I buy things specifically for these types of situations. So if you go there, I promise there's going to be something you're going to find that you need. Anyway, if you'd like to help support the channel but you don't want to spend any extra money, the next best way to do it is click on that Amazon affiliate link. Just by clicking on that link. Even if you don't buy what that link is for, just click it on it. You're doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway. I'll kick back for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.